sick of being segregated. Segregation is a new form of slavery, covered with the niceties of civilization. Nothing more powerful in the world than an idea whose time has come. The idea of freedom and human dignity's time has come. The Negro is no longer willing to accept racial segregation. It is sociologically untenable, politically unsound, and morally wrong. The new Negro has matured in thinking and arrived at a point where he wants freedom, and not gradually. He is definitely sick of being segregated. Segregation is a new form of slavery, covered with the niceties of civilization. We will no longer sell our birthright of freedom for a mess of segregationist pottage. The nonviolent movement has given the Negro a new sense of dignity and self-respect after 300 years. The struggle reveals that the Negro now recognizes the urgency of the movement. He had come to feel that perhaps they were inferior. He has reevaluated himself. The Negro today will suffer, sacrifice, and even die to be free. To those moderates, many sincere people who are saying, slow up, you're moving too fast, I say we can't afford to slow up. We love America too much. People desiring a cooling off period are actually seeking a deep freeze situation when nothing is done. How is it possible to go slow when you're cranked up to climb the high road to freedom? Going slow is a substitute for getting us to stop. The race problem in the United States must be solved, or the United States will be relegated to a second-rate power in the world. Our nation has a date with destiny. If moderation means pushing on toward the goal of meeting that destiny, then it is good. If it means slowing up, then moderation is a vice which all men of goodwill must oppose. Someone always questioned, how is America treating her Negroes? America cannot bring freedom to other people until she treats her own people right. America's image needs to be lifted. We're through with gradualism, tokenism. See how far you've come, ism? We're through with, we've done more for your people than anyone elseism. Gradualism has proved to be merely escapism. We can't wait any longer. Now is the time. Now is the time to get rid of segregation. Now is the time to make the American dream a reality. We have learned to stand up against the evil system and still not hate in the process. We have discovered that love works miracles. We can say to our opponents, we will match your capacity to inflict suffering by our capacity to endure suffering. We will wear you down by our capacity to suffer, and one day we will win our freedom and win you in the process, and our victory will be a double victory. I'm still convinced that if the Negro succumbs to the temptation to use violence in the struggle for freedom, generations yet unborn will suffer the consequences. Nonviolence should not be dismissed as a weak method. It works on the conscience. It enables us to stand before our most bitter opponents and meet their physical force with soul force. If you go to jail, you transform it from a jungle of shame to a haven of human dignity. I am convinced that black supremacy is as dangerous as white supremacy. All men of goodwill must fight against segregation, discrimination, bigotry, and the madness of militarism. Principles are frequently sacrificed to create the illusion of a well-adjusted society. I am calling for an international association for creative MLK maladjustment, as maladjusted as Abraham Lincoln, who said, "This nation cannot exist half slave and half free," and Jesus of Nazareth, who said, "He who lives by the sword shall die by the sword." We will develop a divine discontent about discrimination in all its forms, even the subtle form in Indiana, all the way down south in Fort Wayne. We shall overcome in the successful conclusion of our nonviolent revolution. We shall overcome because, in the words of Thomas Carlyle, no lie can live forever. We shall overcome because the Bible is right. You shall reap what you sow. We will speed the day when all men will join hands and sing, "Free at last."